When I first heard about this phenomenon, I think it was from an Oprah Winfrey show many years ago. I was transfixed at the time, more with the potential of it. The concept had never occurred to me and I liked it, but I did know it was ridiculous. I assumed these guests who claimed to have experienced it were making it up for reasons unknown. I thought they needed to get out and make new friends instead of begging attention by creating bizarre and unbelievably laughable stories. But then it happened to me. Then it really was in my best interests to do all I could to discredit it. I'm suddenly falling down a hole that's just a little bit wider than my body. As I'm falling, I'm scrabbling on the crumbling inner walls of this hole for something to hold on to. It smelled like tar and I could feel how rough it was against my fingers. I couldn't see anything below me or above me. There was this rocky dusty substance that was flying all over the place, especially in my face. I couldn't breathe and I started shouting, "Help me, I can't breathe." But the more I shouted, the faster I fell. Then the scene changed. I was in my bedroom with my partner, son, and several paramedics. I was tired. They took me to an ambulance, that took me to hospital. They told me that I had experienced a grand mal seizure or what is now known as a tonic-clonic seizure. I asked them if I was about to die because the experience of not being able to breathe was at the front of my mind. They said it was lucky that my partner was there. I told my partner that I was falling down a tunnel and that there was no light at the end. I told him how horrifying it was and that there was nothing I could do to help myself. He passed this off. I was just glad that I was going to be all right. For a long time this experience really bothered me. I thought that if I had been dying, then I was going to a horrible place because it definitely was not a smooth journey wherever the destination was. I did not believe in the near-death experience phenomenon, so how could I have been a willing participant? There was no doubt in my mind that the experience had happened. I knew it was not wishful thinking because of the negativity of the experience and because I did not believe in it. I had been in a medically induced coma when I was 17 years old. When I woke up from the coma, I remembered nothing. I did not dream and did not remember seeing anything or being conscious of anything. I still describe it as a place of nothingness. I think if near-death experience was real, then surely, I would have seen something when I was 17. It would have validated the near-death experience I had years later. However, like I said, it was nothingness. But at that time, I had never heard of near-death experience. It really scared me because it got me thinking about why I would be going to hell and what had I done so wrong to deserve going there. Obviously I was not perfect, I have made mistakes, I'm sure I have hurt people, but deliberately? No, never to my knowledge. I knew I had told lies in the history of my life. But nothing out of the ordinary as most people do. I knew I had cut corners. When I could have done a better job at something as most people do. I questioned everything I had done for years if not decades. I questioned my nature to find an answer as to why I was so bad to deserve going to hell. I picked apart every last piece of me to find that answer. People would say I think too much, or I'm too forgiving, or I'm overthinking everything. Anyone that has known me would say I am the sort of person that always pulls myself down. And it's true for various reasons, and this near-death experience only added to that. A friend of mine did some research for me in the internet's early years in 1995 to try and discover what the negative near-death experience might mean. It basically said that a negative near-death experience did not necessarily mean that the person experiencing it had been a bad person. However, the majority of articles talked about positive near-death experiences, and how the survivors felt a renewed sense of living life to the fullest, often because they knew there was something better on the other side. Perhaps then this explained why I felt the opposite, that there was nothing but damnation waiting for me. I was more determined to be good, be sincere, be honest, try harder, be worthy of, and be righteous and sincere, fight for people who couldn't fight for themselves, be noble, show courage, resist evil. I'd like to think that somewhere deep in my subconscious, My brain created a metaphor in a crisis situation based on something I had seen on TV about dying. I still struggle with the idea that I had a negative one and that therefore it means I am a bad person. Maybe I was. Maybe I needed to think about everything that I say and do. Maybe I needed a little self-discipline and it was the only way that I would learn. Maybe it was nothing more than a memory that created a consciousness that was as relevant as a dream. I continue to live in this bondage-like fear-based state of doing all I can to deserve my place here and earn my place in the afterlife. Even when I do good I scrutinize my sincerity and intention. Was that really for them or was it for me? I'm happy to say I am definitely a better person now but not a happier person for having had that experience.